Alexa, play music.
Here's the station you log on. Blur on Amazon Music.
And we are back in action. Get some onions in here, diced onions. Apparently, guys, this is a little bit of an ongoing problem with TikTok. On I don't know if there's any other channels, but especially Food Talk, there is an ongoing problem with any reception. So if you do have any issues, please let me know, and I'll definitely try and have a look. If not, I'll just carry on. I've got to cook anyway. So at the moment, I am. Let's have a look. Flip this round. Just frying some onions off. If anybody has any dip in service, let me know, and we'll send an engineer around. So, bastards, nothing happening. Must be very frustrating for everybody, but it is what it is. Saturdays, that's what happens. Apparently I'm fine, there's no problems, so we'll just crack on with whatever I have to do. I mean, I've got to cook anyway. Actually did a lot of cooking yesterday. We had some guests, so I'm back in the kitchen. But the good thing is, once I've done this, I can enjoy a nice glass of vino and chill out. That's the main thing, man. So, what did I say I was going to do? Let me hide this. Let me hide that out of the way. Let me bring this here. So we've got some mushrooms, which I will actually, while that's on low, while that's frying away, let's have a look. I'm going to prep some mushrooms and we'll put them on the side. I mean, I won't need these mushrooms yet anyway, because the main fact, so all we're doing is just taking the stem out. Now you can use back end of a teaspoon to scoop any extra bits out, like that, just to gently clear it, so you can get a bit more stuffing out. You can use a knife, you can use a peeler. There we go, that should be enough for me, that's fine. So that's it, and then obviously these you can use, put them in the curry. But I'm just going to discard them. Just make a little bit more room there. So I'm not using anything sharp, just a knife, just a spoon, should I say. So thank you very much for joining in. I know it's been very frustrating for everybody. This is clean. I'll put these in another bowl. So I'm just prepping these in advance while we're talking. So anybody got any questions so far? If anybody has any questions, feel free to fire away. What are we making? So we're making some tawakima, which is basically like a stir-fried mince, but I'm making minced chicken, and then I'm making stuffed mushroom bhajis, bhajis, pakoras, but I'm going to make bhaji. We call them bhajis here in the UK. call everything bhaji. They call a curry bhaji, they call a starter bhaji, so I'm just going to go with what they call it. So I'm looking at any exceptionally dirty ones. Obviously, I never wash my mushrooms. I don't know about anybody else. If you do wash them, you have to thoroughly dry them. But I never really wash them. Oh. This is on a low heat. This is going to fry quick. It's fine. They bruise quite quickly, these mushrooms. Love me some mushroom recipes. Oh, you like this one? We make stuffed mushrooms with sausage, cream cheese. Absolutely. I mean, this can be a vegan one. It's just that I'm making an excess amount of keema, which is minced. So I'm going to have enough left over. And even if I don't, I'm just going to take some out and then stuff these mushrooms with them. So I'm only going to do this much for now, just to show you how it's done. But unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do, when I've made this keema, I'm going to take some out. I'm going to have to wait for it to cool down, because obviously while it's hot and I put the batter in, it won't cook right, it won't fry correctly. So I want it to fry nicely. So you have to wait for a cold one. But yeah, you're right. With the stuffing there, you can use a veg stuffing. You know, you could chop this up. Grind this up with some shallots, some ginger, some garlic, add some herbs, and you could fry that off, and then you could then stuff that again with the mushroom, sour cream, cream cheese, should I say, not sour cream, cream cheese, any kind of cheeses, any mince. There's so many things you can stuff. And then, you know, you could use breadcrumbs as well. Obviously they make the Italian style breaded, the English style breaded mushrooms are quite nice. They add garlic mushrooms. So they stuff it with a bit of garlic butter, and then they coat it with breadcrumbs, fry them, and then when you cut them in, you've got that kind of like garlic melted butter all the way around. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. But this one you'll like. I haven't done this for a while, the mushroom one, but it's quite nice. So I'm going to go in with my ginger and the garlic and the chilies. Oh, it's going to be spicy. It's going to be a lovely, lovely, tasty spicy this. I'm going to get my keema from the butcher's. It's going to go straight in. I don't know anybody out there that washes mince. I don't wash mince, especially chicken. I mean, I don't even really wash chicken. I know many people that do wash chicken in the UK. I don't know why. I don't wash them, so not for me, mate, not for me. Too dangerous. So that's there, and I've got some backup mushrooms as well, and then we'll make some little bit of a chutney as well. How are we doing? Are you in the UK? Yes, I'm cooking in the UK. Let me just sort this clever nonsense out, so you can see, and I can see what else going on. Right. Sorry about this adjustment. There we go. There, we can see each other now. I mean, it's the pan that you want to see, you don't want to see me. As you can see, I'm sauteing this till nice and translucent, and I've added the ginger garlic. We don't want anything to burn. So I'm just going to let that fry for a bit and add some salt. Hello from Hawaii. Oh, I used to remember watching Hawaii Five-0 when I was a kid, growing up in the UK. I mean, obviously in the UK, all the American TV shows and films were super popular. Are you from Maui? Maui? Whoa, blimey, what a travesty all that was. Did anybody get to the bottom of what it was? Was it like a natural disaster, fire, like a wildfire or something? Or is any kind of like foul play? There's so many conspiracy theories going on. We get that over here in the UK as well, the stories. So it doesn't sound great, but hopefully everybody's okay. I mean, the problem is, what happens with conspiracy stories, when there's so many, people divert away from the actual victims, you know, of this tragedy. They stop thinking about the victims, and you know, you're then diverted somewhere else. You know, you've got to think about the people, and the people must be. It's just a travesty, losing your house, losing your land, losing your livelihood, losing your belongings, losing your car, losing everything, and then obviously family members as well. Taking one day at a time, it was the worst ever that happened. Whew, it's just, when I saw some of the pictures, I'm like, whoa, some of the video, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. I've got to get myself to Hawaii one day, that's for sure. That's definitely on the bucket list. Nearly had a chance 28 years ago, but decided to go to India instead for some reason. This is going to keep moving about because it's one of those where if I touch my hand, it will move. But there at the top there, you'll see what I'm making. It's a bit small. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Tawa kimma. Kimma is the mince. So hopefully you're well. What's the name? Jane Wild. Actually, I actually do Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I'm probably saying it wrong. But although I am Hindu and we're quite spiritual and do a lot of meditation, I try to find meditation from all around the world. And one of the meditations I do is Ho'oponopono. That's what I do. So basically, I like to do that with, you know, for forgiveness, and it's good for the soul. Actually, I love it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Hi Jeanette, I'm back in action. Ho'oponopono. I can't say it. I can say it, but I don't need to say it because there's only 4 things in there to say, and you can say it in any which way you want. But if anybody wants to Google it, oh, Jesus, I can't say it. I'm a right cluster of it now, aren't I? Can somebody spell it? Ho'oponopono. Somebody spell it for me. Right, I got some tomatoes. I got some tomatoes here. You said tomatoes, I said tomato. Tomatoes. Tomatoes. We got some tomatoes, got some green tomatoes, got some yellow tomatoes. We got some red tomatoes, got some orange tomatoes. They're all tomatoes, man. Tomatoes. Why do you call them tomatoes? Not even going to try and spell it. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I can read it if I saw it. There's a couple of apostrophes in there. Ho'oponopono. Oh, Jesus. I'd have to switch it off in Google. I thought you were on about not even going to try to spell it, Laurie. I thought you were talking about tomatoes. I didn't think you were talking about Ho'oponopono. I thought you were about tomatoes. I can't smell tomatoes. You can't fucking say tomatoes, that's why. How can you spell tomatoes if you can't fucking say it? In with the tomatoes. Now all this fry off together. I've added the salt. So I'm going to go in with some dry spices. And then we're just going to throw the mince in. The mince is straight from the butcher, straight from the bag, and straight inside. Tomatoes. Is that how you say it? Tomatoes. I say tomato. Say it. Tomato. But actually in the UK we say tomato. How do you say it? Tomato. Tomato. Tomato even sounds now. Tomato sounds Hawaiian, doesn't it? Tomato. Ho'oponopono. You spelled it wrong. It's Ho'oponopono. It's got a couple of P's in there, and it's got another apostrophe after the O. I'm sure of it, but you're warm. You're warm, J-Way. J-Way out. If I pronounce your name incorrectly, my apologies. But you're warm. You're very warm. It's a little bit longer. Ho'oponopono. basically what happens is, what you say 4 things in the meditation. And you can say it in any order you want. So you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And that's what's basically translated. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And then you can do it in any order you want. And I just kind of like say that, that meditation, those meditations. Obviously if you say it in the Hawaiian language, the native language, probably more powerful. But I say it in English, it's easier. But I could do it in the Yorkshire Indian meditation. I'm sorry, bastard. Please forgive me, bastard. I love you, bastard. Thank you, bastard. So that's another way of doing it. Right, let's just switch that off. I'm going to go in with some spices. So I'm going to go in with some, I'm going to get some water first. Water! The fucking water gone. I'm going to go with some turmeric, some garam masala, 2 of those, some Kashmiri chili, some cumin powder, some coriander powder, and I've got no fresh chilies in there, and the rest of the spices I'm going to go into the mushrooms, into the batter. I love your spice container, thank you! I've got quite a lot of those spice containers, but I prefer this one, because it's see-through, and it's just a one lid. So you can get access to it straight away. I like that. This is if you're going to cook regular. Obviously I have other ones if you don't cook as a regular, but they involve like a couple of lids and individual lids. So I've added those spices, I've mixed them out. Switched the gas back on, I just switched it off for a bit. Some water, just a little bit. Just going to let that cook off for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add the mince. And what we'll do is we'll seal the mince, get it to change colour. And there it is. Big bag of chicken mince straight in there, no messing about. No contamination, no washing. No splitter, splatter, splutter, splitter, splitter, splatter. We don't want any fucking splitting, splatting. Do. Alexa, what's happened to the fucking music? Alexa, music. Alexa, could you play some music, please? Oh, Alexa, could you play some music, please? You ignorant little bastard, you! What are you doing? Alexa, play music, please. Okay. Po, that's the one, is a prayer and a Hawaiian practice for forgiveness. I love it. I think it's a great meditation. And I think you do get a lot out of it. You know, forgiveness is key. When you say forgiveness, I know it's a cooking channel, by the way. This is basically Food Talk TV that we're talking about forgiveness and meditation. But why not? Because we still got to live. And cooking is a meditation as well. I mean, cooking is great for my mental health. In UK, you guys have only the 2-burner stove. No, there's 4 there. There's 4. And, you know, fucking count. But yeah, we don't, you know, we don't have. You can have the bigger stoves, but we didn't have any room to put a bigger one in. And it's not really a massive kind of like household, you know. We've got like we had a dog and a rabbit. What are we going to cook for? There's the mince. I need a tissue. Heat up, and we're just going to stir this in, and we'll add some water later on. Just going to make sure all this gets mixed in, and we're just going to do it till it changes colour on a high heat. Now obviously the tawa would be a lot bigger, as you were saying with the stove. So Ho'oponopono, we're going back to Aloha, have a great day. Are you going? Ho'oponopono, we're going back to it. The meditation, forgiveness is key for everything really. And the first thing you got to do is, you know, when you say forgiveness, you're forgiving yourself first. Sometimes it's best to forgive yourself before you forgive somebody else, even though you didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't mean it's not an admission of guilt, but sometimes if you forgive yourself for any transgressions that happen to you by somebody else, I know it sounds a bit strange, why you forgiving yourself, I don't know. If you give yourself, then you know, that kind of helps. But I'll save the philosophy for a little bit. I don't know if I'm making any sense, I don't know. It's difficult because we're not having a conversation. It's just like I'm waiting for comments. I'm waiting for somebody to say, get on with the fucking cooking you can. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Aloha. I love it. Love it. Love it. And it's so, I mean, I'm looking at Hawaii on a map, it's like, what? How did you say that's ground? How did you say it? Chicken mince. Kima. Kima. This is chicken mince. So basically it's chicken leg, not breast, minced up with a little bit of the fat content. And you'll see it'll start looking, it'll start resembling mince soon. But it's clumped up at the moment, so obviously you've got to keep frying it off. There's not as much surface area at the bottom, so obviously if it was wider, there'd be more surface area, so it's spread. And it is quite a lot of meat on there as well. It's about 1.3 kilos. Or do you not have ground mince in the chicken mince? Well, you can do this yourself in a blender. You can add some onion, add some chili, some garlic, and then blend it. You can easily do that in the blender. Make your own mince. But I'm sure the butcher, your local butcher would, if they've got a mincer there in the butcher's, they'd have to clean the middle of the mixer out, because obviously there'll be beef in there, there'll be lamb in there, there'll be pork in there. So they clean that out and then they can do your chicken. Yeah, if you've got a standard electric blender, not a Ninja, just an electric blender that you'd normally blend some like sauces and whatnot, you can put some chicken in there. The blades would definitely chop it up. You chop the chicken up small, and it will definitely blend it for you. Mince it. But the chicken mince, what's good for it? It's a good alternative to people who don't like meat, you know, red meat. So a lot of people don't like lamb. A lot of ladies, like for example, I know that don't like eating lamb, so they'll have chicken mince. Where are you from? So where I'm from, I'm born and bred in Leeds, the north of England, which is in the UK, and in a county called Yorkshire. But originally, obviously, my family, they came from India, hence the name Yorkshire, India. So basically, I'm Yorkshire born with like Indian roots, you know. And I kind of specialise in literally Indian cuisine, so that's basically what I cook. But although I cook everything, I'm a normal guy who's learned a lot of cuisines, but I specialise in the Indian style. Because that's what I used to do as a living. I used to be in the restaurant trade. I came out of it many moons ago. Maybe I could open a place in Hawaii. Thank you very much for the likes. Thank you for bearing with us as well for the technical issues that we had early on with the the freezing and whatnot. Sorry about that. My apologies. Obviously out of my hands, but I still apologise anyway, like I said. Ask for forgiveness. And I'm asking, practice what you effing preach. As you can see now, it's starting to look a little bit like mince. Before it was all clumped up. There's still some clumpy bits. Can you see the moisture that's come out? That's the natural water or the water content in the chicken. Obviously because the chicken's minced, it's got more surface area, so obviously it's going to release it a little bit quicker. So what I need to do is I need to cook all that moisture off, which is good because it doesn't make a difference if the chicken overcooks. It won't taste spongy like if it was whole, larger pieces, and it gives a chance for all the spices to cook as well. Just wait, there's still a few more pieces that's still a bit pink, so I'm waiting for all the pieces to change colour, and then we'll go in with a few more spices, you know, spices. As you can see, I've got it on a very high heat. Obviously on a griddle pan, on a tawa, it'd be a high heat, and it'd be obviously wider, so it'd cook all that chicken a lot faster and there'd be less moisture. But obviously with this cast iron, it's catching all the moisture there, so we need to cook that off, which we will. And in between that, I'll make some sauce. So let me just do this. I'll turn it down, let it cook, and then we'll make some chutney. Chutney banana. Lid on, do that. Let me just go get some garlic and stuff. So I've got a little machine here, blender. So in this, let's have a look. While that's cooking up, we're going to do just add a little bit of yogurt. And some garlic. Little bit of ginger. Hey Janice Long, how you doing? That little sliver will do. I'll do that. A little bit of fresh coriander. That'll do, stalks and all. That's the cilantro. We call it cilantro in America. And then we're going to put some mint. So with these, I'm just going to sprig some leaves off. Not the stalks, just the leaves. And there's a way to do this. Go in. Go in. Oh, it's nothing better than the smell of fresh mint. Do you agree? I love the smell of fresh mint. Wowzers. A little bit of salt. Enough. Squeeze of lemon juice. and just some thick pepper for the sake of it. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. Cold water. Puppy power! Right, there we go. Right, anybody know where I put that? There it is. Right, wish me luck, this might not work. Can you see the flavour of this? Oh. Spicy, tangy, minty, everything. Beautiful. So that's my sauce for the mushroom bhaji. Nice and easy. Right, chicken. Take the lid off now. Turn the heat back up. I want all this water to dissipate. Everything will wipe down. So I said if I miss any comments, my apologies sincerely. TikTok being glitchy, yeah. It's been not glitchy, it's been bitchy. TikTok's being a right bastard today, I don't know why. But it happened a couple of weeks ago. I was on with Ashton and it was frozen for some reason. So, but it's not just happening to me; it's been happening to many others. So it's something they need to get to the bottom of. I'm just going to put some methi here, which is dried fenugreek leaves. This is called kasuri methi. Kasuri methi, dried fenugreek. Just going to rub this on. Then, while we're nearing, this won't take long. It's only chicken mince. All I'm trying to do is cut it tawa. It's like a drier dish, drier keema. So we're going to cook this till the oil comes up. And we like the drier version. So it's on high. I'm just going to put a little bit of garam masala, roasted garam masala on here. With coriander powder. That'll do. That'll do it, mate. Right, and let that simmer. So while we're waiting for that, anybody got any questions? If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to fire away. Linda Luhu, I like that name. I want to try minced chicken. You should. Such a good dish. A lot of people overlook it. I mean, There's turkey mince. I think you do turkey mince in USA. A lot of turkey mince. Turkey mince is good for you, high protein, low fat. Chicken has a little bit more fat content, but high protein, not as high as turkey, but pretty good. It's just a nice dish. You can make so many different things. I mean, you could, any lean beef or lean lamb kind of recipes, you could use minced chicken, or any pork recipes, you could use that as well. They do have a ground turkey. Yeah, you see, you call it ground, don't you? You call it like minced. Call it mince here. And obviously in India we call it keema. That's why it says keema at the top. Keema, keema, keema. Can I have a keema boona, please? Oh, ground, yes, ground, mince, 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 mince. You call it ground, don't you? Ground. I grounded a pound of mince. Thank you very much for the likes, very, very kind, very, really appreciate it, especially with all the technical issues that we've had. Like I said, just waiting for this to cook off. I said cook off, and then once all that water's dissipated, I'm happy with that. I'm going to take some out quickly, try and rapidly cool it, and then we'll start stuffing the mushrooms. Let me get some coriander, please. You got any coriander in here, please? Okay, coriander. Oh, I forgot to put a cloth underneath the chopping board. And while we're waiting for this, I'm going to make the batter for the mushroom bhajis. Just have a look at this. Now that chicken is cooked, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy for all this to go in actually. To go in, I'll give it one mix after. Do do do, I like to do. What am I to do when you're blue? Whoa, 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 whoa. I plant cilantro in my yard. So I've got cilantro, but obviously season's nearly ending. Spinach didn't do very well. I had some spinach, cilantro, some peppermint, but the cilantro's doing really well, very, very well. And it's good to grow your own, it really is. Right, let's get a bowl. Can I get a bowl, please? I need a bowl. Here's a bowl. Now take my word for the volumes here. This is gram flour, basically gram flour. Let me just bloody do this, man. You don't need to see the mince. I'll show you the mince at the end. This is gram flour, so basically it's the word in Hindi is besan, B-E-S-A-N, besan, like bison, but with an E, besan. And basically it's chickpea flour, so it's dried chickpeas. It's the flour, and it's gluten free. So if any kind of like gluten intolerant people, this doesn't have any gluten. So when you're making bhajis, pakoras, etc., there's no whole wheat in there. There's no wheat in there. It's basically from veggies, from chickpeas. So I'm going to go in with some flour. I'm going to throw it all over the place first, and then I'm going to put some in the bowl. There we go. I'm only going to make a bit because this one I'm making the batter first. Usually if I'm making pakora, or onion bhajis, I'll do the onions first, whatever. But we're going to make the batter first. So in this I need some salt to taste. I like salt, mate. In this, I'm going to put... Sorry. Can't see me now, can you? Okay. Yeah. That means I'm happy with it. I'm just going to switch that off. Let that sort itself out. In this as well, I'm just going to put some ajwain, which is carom seeds. Carom seeds. It's gone in. And I'm just going to put a few cumin seeds in there just for taste. Nothing else whole spices needs to go in there. The rest are going to be dried spices. So for the dried spices, nice and easy. Little bit of turmeric, garam masala, some Kashmiri chili. Make it spicy. And some coriander powder. And then, just to top that off, I'll keep this spoon. I'll put some amchur. I've got some in one of my spice boxes. Amchur is mango powder. So we're going to bank some mango powder in there, give it a nice little flavour. So just 1 spoon should be enough. He says, so he puts 2. I like mango powder, me mate. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, mate. I like mango powder. What's not to like? It's got mangoes and it's got powder. It's fucking brilliant. Right, so that's in there. Now if you want to jazz this up, you could chop some cilantro, you can do all kinds of things in there, but no. Right, let me just get this mince. Let me show you the mince first. Can you see the oil has come to the top? Hello. Hello. Can you see that oil? All the moisture's gone. Can you see the moisture? Moisture has gone. Nice and dry. Just the oil has reached. This is what I wanted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a couple of scoops out for my mushroom. I'll rapidly cool this. So I'm just going to put some on a plate for now so it cools down. And then I'll transfer this to a bowl so it's easier to deal with. Should be enough because I'm only going to make a few for now. The rest will cool down by then. But before we go, as you can see, it looks like scrambled eggs. Anybody want some scrambled egg on toast? Make me some brioche, mate. Make me some French toast. Now this is keema. This is tawa keema. Nice and dry. No sauce. Just the tawa keema. Nice and beautiful sauce. Let's see what the flavor is. Oh. Oh wow. Oh yeah. That's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm going to replace this with this. Everybody knows what this is. This is Indian air fryer. Why is it Indian air fryer? So what we do is 50% oil, 50% air. Indian air fryer. Only joking, only joking. It's not really an Indian air fryer. It's just a cry, innit? Cry, you know, cry me a river. Can you all say cry? Cry is like a walk, like cooking vessel. Cry me a river. Oh, I think I just need to eat this. If you seek Amy, hi, if you seek Amy. Watch, everybody laughing. Hey, Kaz. Sorry about the jokes. Trying my best. Right. So I need to just quickly cool this down. So give me a couple of minutes while this cools down. I need to finish this. I'm cooling it down American style. You know when you make your apple pies and you put them on the windowsill? I've just done that. I mean, I know you can use water and ice and all that, but it doesn't have to be that cold. Right. My basin. My basin, my basin. My basin. A whisk. So you're going to take all these, like any lumps in there. I mean, you can sieve the basin before. I like to add a little bit of baking soda and also bicarbonate of soda. I've got any bicarbonate soda. I do. And this just makes it a little bit crepsy, you know, crepsy. So I've got some bicarbonate. I don't know, Dr. Octa. You guys know this, Dr. Octa? As you can see, it's never been opened because I must have finished my last batch. I'll open this now in front of you guys. Oh, so just a pinch, nothing more than a pinch. Okay, 2 pinches. I'll grab it. That's enough. Mix that in. Okay, some fine. I need the bone. And this is so easy now because all we're going to do is we add a little bit of water at a time because I'm not making pakore. So you can be in charge of how thick or how much of a batter you actually want. So if you want a thin batter, you make it a little bit thinner. If you want a thick batter, you make it as thick as you can, thick as me. Well, don't make it that thick. Don't make it as thick as me. I'm too fucking thick. But the secret is just a little bit of time. Now, basically, any dough, if you don't have a full recipe, if you don't have measurements, the best way, trial and error, is add a little bit at a time. I've seen people put measurements of flour and measurements of water, taking it as gospel, thrown it all in, mixed it, and it's never worked. So always mix bit at a time. Can you see this? Let's have a look at what this says. Now this is a Punjabi, that's Punjabi thick. That's what we kind of like want. But I want it little bit thinner, and it will, obviously with the room temperature, it will go a little bit thin, not too thin, but just a little bit less than that. So we'll get this, I'll show you the peak, what we're after. And obviously as well, you all saw me add the salt, the spices, everything. Now you can't take anything out, but at this stage you can always add. So the best thing is get a little finger like this, and you can taste it. It's raw, it's no problem, solid batter, not going to harm you. Now you can tell about the salt, spices, everything. What does it need? Obviously I need it. It doesn't need pork, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right, let's do the mushrooms, mate. I need to do mushrooms. I need to stuff these mushrooms. And that's quite straightforward. He says, with the keema still not cold. Well, let's scoop it. All we're we're just going to put a little bit of keema in there. Keema, pushy. Push inside. I'll leave that there. And I haven't made all that keema just for this. This is, I've made keema for a curry to eat with my chapatis and my rice. But I just thought, instead of making a separate keema, I'll use the same keema for the mushroom bhajis. And obviously, any vegetarians out there, mushroom is vegetarian, chicken isn't. You can substitute this with a soya keema, or you can substitute it with anything really, anything veggie style. Make something veggie, stick it in, put some fucking Doritos in there, I don't really care. Vegetarian, that's your fucking problem. Only joking. I should be vegetarian as well, but I'm not. Maybe one day. Maybe when they stop making bacon taste so nice, I'll probably become vegetarian. That'll do for now. And this will give me a chance to let that cool down. So I'll just make a few barges and get rid of that. Turn this heat up. So I've got about 6 there, different shapes, different sizes. Just going to drop these in for now. Oh, it looks like a lovely picture. Is it a birthday cake? No, it's popcorn and mushroom bhaji with stuffed keema. It's not a popcorn cake. So, fritters, yeah, you could. I mean, with that batter now, you could fry chilies, you could fry onion rings. You could do anything you want. Flu papa. I don't know what flu papas is, unfortunately. I'd probably help you if I knew. I don't know. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for going to Food Talk TV. Thank you for going to foodtalktv.com to see all the lovely, lovely creators that we have. I'm just waiting for my Indian air fryer to warm up. What are you making? What are you making? Shan, I'm making a tawa keema, which I made. It's here, 1 second. Just for Cheyenne and anybody else who has joined. I made tawa keema, which is minced chicken, and I'm making some stuffed mushroom bhajis with the rest of the. I took some keema out of here, and I've stuffed the mushrooms, and then we're going to made a batter. Just waiting for the Indian air fryer to warm up. So my Indian air fryer there. As you can see, there's my thermometer. You push your finger right in the middle. No, you fucking don't do that. Don't be stupid. Don't push your finger in the middle of the fucking hot oil. What are you doing, man? Fucking stupid. Saudi breakfast food, flapperpus. Flapperpus. I've heard of a platypus. Never heard of a flapperpus. Did they have like duck-billed platypus or something for breakfast? I mean, there's kind of like Middle Eastern breakfast, with honey, yogurt. They do the bread, pita breads. They do the olives. It's really good. It's very similar to kind of like a Mediterranean brekkie. I do like it. Can I get a rewind? Can I get a rewind, please? Right, let me get some tissue paper just to sort this flat mushroom bhaji out, because you don't want it too greasy, So, as you can see, there's my Indian air fryer. You can probably see it. Chickpea instead of flour, thank you. Oh, yeah. Are you on about hummus? No? Tell you what. Got a little bit broken mushroom there. We'll throw that in. That's ready. So what I'm going to do now, because I stuffed it, I don't want to turn these upside down. I'm just going to give these a little swirl there. These will just nicely fry off. I used to make hundreds of these for the restaurant. Not the stuffed ones, but the mushroom bhaji. Used to be a lot of prep involved. To make these in advance, and then when they got an order, we used to fry them again. So with Indian food like this, you fry, Try not to touch it. If anything's sticking or going to the bottom, just gently separate them. Don't move it too much because it's still a little bit wet. After it's fried for about a minute, just turn it upside down so all sides get the oil. And then we're just going to fry these for about 4 minutes or until basically you'll hear the moisture, because the mushroom's about 90%, 92% moisture, and all that water moisture will start releasing because obviously the high pressure inside, the high heat. And here you have some scraps. What do you call this in America? Do you call them scraps? We call them scraps here. You can let these dry out and nice. Can you see the water coming out of the mushrooms? See that spitting? That's the water coming out. It's a good sign. Oil is right temperature. About 180. Let me just check. Sorry, 181. Can be a little bit squishy when you're doing mushrooms because of the moisture inside. So now I have to make all these because somebody's going to be hungry. So I might as well just quickly stuff these, and then I'm done. And I'll show you those mushroom bhajis that I just made. I'll show you. I'll cut them up, serve them with the sauce. Then you can see what fuss is all about. But I'm just letting them cool down a bit. I don't want to burn my tongue. This chicken is very nice, very tasty. If you don't mind me saying so myself. Like I said, if you're not happy with the hole, the gap, you can make it a little bit more space by cutting it with a peeler or a knife. But I'm just happy with that. I just want a little bit of taste of chicken. And it's just a quick snack, quick starter. It doesn't have to be a professional job. You just stuff these in. And that's how simple this situation is. So let me, this one is broken, but let me do it. I've got another punnet of mushrooms as well. Right, in the plate. I'm going to put the sauce all the way around so we can have a bit. So we need to cook this now, don't we? Can you see the mushroom bhaji? So basically, there's a nice soft, cool down mushroom bhaji, crispy. Let me get it cut. Just needs a little bit more moisture. dive in. Oh. Mmm. Mm. Chicken is nice, goes really well with the sauce. Mushroom bhaji I've not had for a long time. Mm. Good. Mm. Ah, good. Delicious. Very nice. Country Girl and Sweetie. I like that name. Crown Royal. Right. There we have it. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to fry, well actually you might as well see me. I'm going to fry the rest of these mushrooms. Put this back on. Stick that back in. All there. And you'll be able to catch me next week, next Saturday. I'm 4 o'clock GMT. I think it's 10 o'clock your time or 11 o'clock your time. You'll have to check the website, foodtalktv.com, to find out all the other creators, when they're live, what their schedule is. It's all on the website. Thank you, Forged. I always look, I see, all I can see is the word Forged. Let me retry. Your name's not coming up. All I can see is the word Forged. But you know what I'm talking about. Tulsi Patel. I just think Tulsi Patel. Kem cho? Saru che. So, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. So, we made tabakimo, which is minced chicken. We made stuffed mushroom bhajis, which are here. And I've still got quite a few to make. But they were nice. Oh, got some mint sauce on there. They were nice, mate, nice. So, see you next week. Thanks for joining. And if you're new to the place, give us a follow. And I'm also at Yorkshire Indian on TikTok, at Yorkshire Indian Instagram and Facebook. So, find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, find me on YouTube. Thank you very much. God bless. Bye.